Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show some pickups that I got over the month. There hasn't really been a lot of stuff. I did miss one sale actually, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And at the end of the video of showing my pickups, I'm going to show the Nintendo World Store in New York City tour. And I had a family member go there for me on the 16th. Also, I picked up something really exclusive in the New York store, and it is on its way to me right now. So when it does arrive, I'm going to do an unboxing video, so I'm going to keep it kind of secret right now what I did get, but it's very cool. So let's get to the pickups now. Most of the stuff I found this month was PlayStation 1 stuff. The first was on the weekend of June 6th. I went out, there's supposed to be a couple community sales, and I drove around a little bit. I found some PlayStation stuff, like for PlayStation 2, but it just wasn't anything that I really wanted. So I drove on a little bit, and I found a silver GameCube for $5. Now I have that packed away, so I'm going to show a video of it right now. It didn't have a controller, but it had everything else with it, like the power cord and the cable, so it was a really great deal. I mean, for $5 by itself would have been fine. And at the same garage sale, I found some Final Fantasy characters. Now, one of them I'm not really sure who it is. It's this one right here. And then the second one I got actually had a little damage, but it was so cheap. I think it was like maybe $1 for these. He's missing his little hand, so if you put it back on, I'll have to glue it at some point. So it's Cloud there. There he is. Now, after I went to that garage sale, I drove up the road a little bit. There really wasn't anything. And so I went to another sale and ended up being this girl I know and her dad were having a sale, and I had no idea it was going to be them. And her dad had a bunch of PlayStation 2 games, and he had a bunch of PlayStation 1 games. He had a huge stack. And I wanted to not really spend that much. I think he said $5 each, and I thought, oh, no. So I said, well, how about for all of it, I'll give you like $10. And he was humming and hawing, but I told him I wasn't going to take any of his new stuff, which he seemed to value the PlayStation 2 stuff as a lot better, even though I knew PlayStation 1 stuff was a lot better. So I was able to convince him to give me the whole stack for $10. Some of them I already packed away, the ones I was going to keep, so I'll show those in a video clip, but the other ones I'll show you here right now. So part of that $10 set was siphon filter, driver 2, and both discs, Spec Ops Stealth Patrol, Tomb Raider 3, Jet Moto 2, a spare disc for Metal Gear Solid. I don't know what I'm really going to do with this, and Twisted Metal 4. So the next weekend after that was June 13th, and I was going to be early, but I ended up being a little late. I had a couple stops to make before I got to this one sale. I really thought that everybody would have just gone there first. So everybody got there, I think, just right before I did, because there were empty cases for Crash Bandicoot. They said that someone took away a big stack right before I got there. And I was pretty disappointed, but there were like a few spare games left, and I think I paid $2 each for them. And this guy obviously had a lot of stuff, and it was retro, because I saw lone Super Nintendo game sitting there, and there was a GameCube, and the little boy's like, oh, Double Dash is gone, and I'm like, oh no, yeah. So anyway, I really missed out on that one, but I'm not sure who got the stuff. Anyway, this is what they left behind. We had a Atari 2600 Donkey Kong Jr., and it's actually in there, but like the case isn't in very good condition, but usually the Atari games are really not in very good condition. And I didn't have this one, so I thought, yeah, I'll take the box for a couple bucks. Also, the only things left at this sale were Nightmare Creatures and Tomb Raider 2. Everything else was gone, and like there's I think a Super Nintendo game was hockey, no, and the rest of the cases were empty. So yeah, I missed out big time on that one. the store I picked up recently Quake 2 and Populous. I like kind of weird games like this, so I definitely want to pick it up. They're about $5 each though, because it is Value Village, and they charge quite a bit for their games. Actually, One Town Over charges $1 more, which I thought was kind of weird, but that's for PlayStation 2. Then on June 15th, I picked up a couple DS games. They were really cheap. I actually had one item I was returning to the store, so I had to get something in exchange, and they had Sonic Rush, so I just grabbed that. And this other store had DS games for only $1, and there was unfortunately only one there. It was 100 all-time favorites, but these are sometimes kind of fun to play before bed, so I mean, it was $1, why not? So I went out today. There really wasn't a whole lot of stuff, and I found, like, in the back, this guy had a CD case, and he was like, oh, well, you know, I threw out all the cases because I just didn't have the room when I was moving. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was trying to ask like $5 each per game, and then he was saying something like he had some deals for the other ones, and I didn't want to spend very much. So, of course, I pulled out the 2 oldest ones in there. Most of them were PlayStation 3, and, you know, I could have picked them up, but I think PlayStation 3 is going to get a lot cheaper as time goes on, just like PlayStation 2 did. So I was going to stick to the Nintendo stuff, and I found, for $2 each, I was able to convince him, Metroid Prime and Need for Speed Most Wanted. So those are 2 games I didn't have yet, so I'm going to add them to my collection. I just need to find the boxes now, but I might have the box somewhere. I usually keep extra boxes, so you never know. And the other 2 games I picked up today were kind of lame, but one's worth a little bit of money, but they were so cheap. They were at this garage sale close to my house, and there was Alias, and it was like 50 cents. And there was Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses, and that was also 50 cents. It was worth like $13. So I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a card game, so I didn't have it, so I'll keep it. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna come on now to the tour of the Nintendo World Store, and I hope you like it. It's kind of an exclusive place to be. There was some event going on there. They were doing some streaming from the E3 that day, but I think we got there a little bit late. There's so many things you can buy there that are just exclusive to New York City. This store is very, very exclusive. It's the only one in the world. You cannot buy anything over the phone. You cannot order anything over the internet. It's crazy exclusive. They have stuff going on all the time to events, like where they give away stuff. Like they gave away some hats for Splatoon recently. Like if you were living in New York City, this would be like a great place to go all the time. But since we don't live in New York, we have to take advantage when someone goes there. So I did get something that came out just a few days before he arrived at the store. So thankfully there were a few of them left, and I picked up one of them. It ends up costing a little bit more with the exchange, but I think it's a really, really cool item, and I'm very excited to show it. I know exactly what it is, but I haven't seen it in person, so when I do get it, I'll do an unboxing video and we'll look at it together. Okay, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.